Anywhere from 5 to 30% of the general population, men are raising and paying for children that are not theirs and don't know. According to the American Association of Blood Banks, between 25 and 30% of the males who are accused of being the father, they take a paternity test and find out they did not.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Mandatory DNA tests. What do you think about them, huh? What do you think about them, huh? Without further ado, let's get into the video.
So I'm kicking my husband out after he asked for a DNA test on our baby. Here go the last of your stuff. Don't come back.
Don't swipe now. Come back here. Hey, ladies, did you know that paternity fraud is now a crime? Yeah, let's talk about House Bill 2689, because they locking y'all up.
18-year-old Tiana. Mr. Bell, you are not.
I knew it! Thank you! Thank you! I knew it! I told you! I told you! He's a liar! No, he's a liar!
And I know who the daddy is.
I told you!
I know who the daddy is.
I think that the United States making DNA testing mandatory is stupid. I don't.
I can't agree with that. Swab his mouth, swab her mouth, swab them kids, swab. Make it mandatory.
All right, men, it's our time. Our time has come. Ladies, your time has come too. Guess what? Maternity fraud is now legally a crime, and if a man is forced to pay child support for a child that was not his, oh, get ready. Guess what, ladies? You now owe the entirety of all that child support back to that man. If a man gets asked for a paternity test and that child is not his, which, by the way, 30% of the time it isn't, if that man can prove infidelity, which means you cheated, you may owe the entirety of all that child support back. And if you cannot pay it back, you are going straight to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Ladies are now being held accountable for their actions. I feel like the female kind is going to absolutely despise this. The male kind is going to absolutely love this. By the way, this has already been held against men, so don't even try to play that.
I had two guys.
I don't understand why it has taken this long for it to come. The first time a woman said that it was a man's baby and it wasn't his, they should have been like, you know what? We can trust these ladies. Like it's 2 seconds. You can get a DNA test at Walmart. You can't slide one in during the pregnancy or after the baby's born. Come on now.
Call in. They work at DNA testing centers. One guy had to quit. One guy still works there. He told me 40% of the children are not the man's child. 40%. He said 40%.
Somebody call
and it's usually
make DNA testing
it's
mandatory.
It's two scenarios. It's where the woman, the person's getting a DNA test because the woman claims that is their child. Turns out it's not. The other one is where the parent is on the deathbed and makes a confession, or they need a liver transplant, blood transfusion, and the blood type. There's no way that can actually be the father. So then they find out because of medical reasons. You mean that's not my father? Then the father finds out from that way. He said it took such a toll on him that he could no longer do it because he would be sitting on the phone counseling the men and the grown children who these women falsely accuse. We see it on we see it on paternity court, but yet we say men need to be held accountable.
So I know this video.
Like, that's crazy. 40%. I would think, like, being realistic, I would think that it would be like 2, 3, maybe 4%, but 40% that of women lying. That doesn't sound like a lot, but if you think about it, from all the babies that are being born per year, and 40% of that's wild, man. That is crazy.
I'll make the girls want to tussle with me, but I don't care. I think DNA testing should be mandatory at birth, right then and there. Not only is it very much foul to have somebody thinking that they are the father of a child and they are not. I don't care how y'all put that. I don't care what excuse y'all make. That's foul. But that's not the only reason I say that. These hospitals be mixing people babies up. So he might not be the daddy, but you might not be the mama either. So I think to save people 18 years of dealing with a foul baby mama, because usually women that do that be foul. You gonna get this man hell knowing this ain't his baby. It should just be a DNA test right there, right in there when a baby is born.
Unfortunately, the courts don't feel this way. If you are married, like for instance, my husband and I are married, and I was to get pregnant by another man, he would be responsible for the child support for 18 years, even though it's not his child, because we're married. That's the way the courts work. So messed up.
And then when you hear women talk about how they just don't have any rights and the world is just made for men, I'm like, all of these things that are unfair, that favor you, they just completely dismiss them. Like, oh, we don't see those. But look, but you guys can walk around with your shirts off. And they bring up like the dumbest arguments. You guys can walk down a dark alley in Gotham and not have to worry about the Joker. I'm like, what are you talking about? Everybody has to worry about the Joker, but you get what I'm saying.
Okay, listen, y'all. So, as I'm supposed to be working, but anyway, I was on IG and I seen a clip that it said that women may feel like their rights are being compromised because they're trying to come out with something where men have the right to get a DNA test as soon as the child is born. But what I'm trying to understand is, how is the women's rights being compromised when soon as the baby start crying, you filing for child support? How is your rights being compromised when you're requiring them to care for this child? Like, I'm not, it's not making sense to me. The only people that's would have a problem with this is these women, okay? And quite frankly, I feel like men should have a DNA. It should be automatic. It should be a law, okay?
I think we can see the fact why a lot of ladies do not like this law, because it suggests something about modern women and just how low down they can be, how they can just fraud and con a man to think that that's his child for the last 18 years and he has to pay money for that child those 18 years. I can see a lot of men and women welcoming this, because it is time for modern women to be held accountable for their indiscretion.
Anywhere from 5 to 30% of the general population, men are raising and paying for children that are not theirs and don't know. According to the American Association of Blood Banks, between 25 and 30% of the males who are accused of being the father, they take a paternity test and find out they did not do it.
Are you for mandatory DNA testing at birth?
I am absolutely on record as saying that if we want to prevent the problem of having men challenge paternity later down the road, is then let's apply a proactive solution. Automatic DNA testing at birth would work to help two things. One, we would assure that the right parents were named on the birth certificate. Two, it would stop paternity fraud and take the profit out of paternity fraud.
But so many women's groups say this wouldn't be fair. You're acting like you don't trust the mother. Why do you think they say that?
It's a red herring. It takes away from the focus of, well, who's the one person who has all of the information about potential fathers or the paternity candidates? It is the child's mother. And currently, in most places, she has no duty to disclose that, well, wait a minute. Well, my husband's not really my child's father. My boyfriend is. Like, well, wait, lady. But you're married. You forgot?
Okay, right there.
So at the end of the day, it all comes down to power. Women just want the power. If you do this, or when this is going on, the only thing they're thinking about is, I'm going to end up losing power. Not only that, they will go have a baby with the bad boy and then expect the nice guy or the good man to raise it. And then the way a woman's logic is, it's, well, you've been here, so this is your child because you've been taking care of it. You've been here for the past year and a half. This is your child because you love it and take care of it like it's your child, so it is yours. Men are like, nah, this isn't my blood. This isn't my seed, Tiffany. This isn't it.
I'm just wondering what his name was, and his name is Carnell Smith. And he's the founder of Citizens Against Paternity Fraud. Men need to get out there and get in touch with this man and find a way to support his cause. This man is out there doing the Lord's work.
That you were married? No, but thanks to no-fault divorce laws, she can get the house, the property, alimony, and child support, and then move the boyfriend into the house. Why would she tell the truth?
The system doesn't make it easy. So speaking of the system, what are you doing or what have you done to help change some of these laws that are so unfair to men?
Well, it's actually unfair to men, women, and children. See, I'm the guy that's officially on record saying that every child deserves to know the truth about their heritage, their ancestry. And you can't do that when you only rely on verbal representations, just take somebody's word for it. Oh, yeah, that's your dad. Yeah, but he looks like the FedEx guy. Oh, no. Well, actually, it could be the milkman. Well, no, we no longer have a milkman, but here's the problem. I have been very instrumental in raising the public awareness on the issue of paternity fraud as a problem that needs to be corrected.
Memphis Representative Antonio Parkinson is sponsoring House Bill 2698 that would require DNA evidence proving paternity before a man signs a birth certificate for a child that may not be biologically his.
The state has been turning a blind eye to this by allowing people to sign blindly without any proof of DNA association to this child, which is allowing people to be guilty, or in some cases, of paternity fraud, which is a crime. It's only right and the moral thing to do, an ethical thing to do, to ensure that the right people's names that match their DNA is on that birth certificate. Anything other than that, you are stealing a child from a biological parent, and it's state sanctioned.
Well done, Tennessee. It's about time. This should go nationwide. But we need this bill pushed in all 50 states. Hell, it need to be pushed all over the world and worldwide.
On child support, and I never said this was my child.
This mound of paperwork shows a juvenile court judge ordered him to pay child support even before the birth.
I didn't do a voluntary acknowledgement. I didn't sign the birth certificate. All I knew is we legitimated the child in your name.
He took the child himself to get a DNA test and found the son he'd supported for years was not biologically his. He took the documentation to court. The judge wouldn't accept it, but ordered a new DNA test done that showed the same results. Probability of paternity, 0%.
What I don't understand is, why do these men wait so long? Why do you wait years? Why are you waiting years? Now, this is the one thing that I put on men. Like, don't wait such a long time and then grow this attachment and all this to that child, because it's just going to end up hurting everybody. You and the child. I don't really care about the mom, but you and the child is going to end up hurting y'all.
It's sad to see that we need a law to protect men from liberated women. And this is a step in the right direction. I feel like we can all see that men need to be protected just as much as women. A lot of these ladies out here screaming about equal rights, it should be equal across the board.
Yeah, she should be charged with paternity fraud. Of course, mom can't take responsibility and say, I slept with multiple men in 1 week. Sit those men down and say, one of you is this child's father. I don't know which one it is. Can we do a DNA test? Instead, it seems like she's drawing a name out of a hat. Maybe it's the one that makes the most money. Maybe it's the one that took her to Denny's in the morning instead of leaving her cold in a bed with the wrong phone number. Mom knows who she slept with. Alleged dad does not. It is her responsibility to be honest and have some sort of moral compass to where she could do what's best for her child, not making that child believe someone else is their father, and doing what's morally right toward this man instead of just pinning a child on him because he seems like the best candidate. He tried to step up, be responsible, sign the acknowledgement of paternity. Therefore, it is his fault. And these aren't only just one-night stands. These are long-term relationships where alleged father, had no reason to believe anyone else would have fathered the child when he had been in a relationship for 5 years with this woman, and she was just really good at covering it up. But thankfully, thanks to women like you, men are realizing they need a DNA test regardless of marital status. And you bet your ass we are teaching our sons the same thing.
When we talk about morality, I feel like we're asking ladies to do something that they're not fully equipped to do. I don't think that most women are fully equipped to living up to morals and standards. I mean, even when you look at divorces, they leave just because they're not happy. Not because he's doing anything wrong, because he's punching her and, giving her uppercuts between Netflix ad breaks. They're just like, I don't feel fulfilled. It's mainly about feelings. Like, I don't feel this type of way. I don't feel happy. He's supposed to make me happy. If I'm not happy, it's his fault, so I'm just gonna leave. That's not a moral thing to do. Women really don't have like a moral code that they live by. They're only, not all obviously, but they're really only loyal to their own feelings. And we can see it based on how they move. But guys, that's it for today's video. If you haven't done so, hit that hype button just to spread us out. I thank you all for the support and the love. Listen, have a good day. If you want a good video, click this one on my left, or if you want an even better video, click this one on the right, and I will see you on another one.